Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Vunganyi. I want to thank you for joining us today on the show. As always, right here on Red Carpet, we bring you the latest in entertainment news, in sports, in film, fashion, and television from around the world. Let's begin the show. And we begin with Hollywood's biggest night, the 93rd Academy Awards. Philip Crowther has our story from Los Angeles.
How strange it was to see the stars gathered in the same place, hugging and enjoying each other's company. This was the first big awards ceremony of the coronavirus pandemic, and it felt like a teaser of what might soon be possible again. A small, star-studded, largely socially distanced crowd saw no major surprises, really, starting with the Oscar for the Best Foreign Film, won by Danish director Thomas Vinterberg's joyous Another Round, meaning the likes of Tunisia's The Man Who Sold His Skin departed Hollywood with empty hands. There was a big African success story, though. South Africa's My Octopus Teacher, directed by Pippa Ehrlich, winning the Best Documentary Award. It's a feel-good movie watched by many from the comfort of their own homes, instead of being able to experience it, or any other film that is, in the world's largely closed movie theaters. My Octopus Teacher is the story of a filmmaker's unlikely relationship with, yes, an octopus. History, meanwhile, was made during this 93rd edition of the Academy Awards thanks to the sublime, poetic, and low-budget American production Nomadland. Chloe Zhao is the first woman of color to ever win the Best Director award. Nomadland's win in the most important Best Film category made it the big winner of the night, by far. Zhao is also only the second woman to win in the Best Director category in the history of the Oscars. And then Frances McDormand went on to win the Oscar for Best Actress, too. Now, there was no posthumous award for the late Chadwick Boseman for his work in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, the Oscar for Best Actor instead going to Anthony Hopkins for his devastating portrayal of a man slowly coming to terms with dementia. British actor Daniel Kaluuya won the Best Supporting Actor role for his portrayal of the Black Panther Party chairman Fred Hampton in Judas and the Black Messiah. It was a more diverse Oscar ceremony this year, after loud past criticism for being both too white and too male-dominated. Hopefully, though, there will not be another Oscar ceremony like this one, marked as it was by a deadly pandemic. Despite that, director Steven Soderbergh pulled off a smooth spectacle at Union Station, the commuter train station here in Los Angeles. It was chosen instead of the tighter confines of the Dolby Theatre, the setting in a more normal year. Philip Crowther for VOA in Los Angeles.
And now let's go to Kampala in Uganda, where we have reactions on Daniel Kaluuya's win for Best Supporting Actor.
To see Daniel Kaluuya, regardless of tribe, regardless of race, being able to win such a prestigious award, and for someone who's worked over the years to build a name, it means so much to us.
It inspires us all actually as Ugandan people in the film industry too.
I like his movies because he's a Ugandan just like me, and I'm so inspired that he managed to win that Oscar award.
His win gives Ugandan actors and actresses a hope.
And in more Oscar news, Best Actor winner Anthony Hopkins gave the Oscar acceptance speech from the Welsh countryside, while also paying tribute to fellow nominee Chadwick Boseman in a video message posted on Instagram.
Good morning. Here I am in my homeland in Wales, and at 83 years of age I did not expect to get this award. I really didn't, and very grateful to the Academy, and thank you. And I want to pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who's taken from us far too early. And again, thank you all very much. I really did not expect this. So I feel very privileged and honored. Thank you.
The second Oscar for Hopkins comes nearly 30 years after his first in 1992 for playing Hannibal Lecter in The Silence of the Lambs. He's been nominated 4 times since without a win. And despite his pedigree, Hopkins was a surprise Best Actor winner for his work on The Father, where the 83-year-old plays a man battling with dementia opposite Olivia Colman, who plays his daughter. And in sports news, the Nigerian nightmare Kamaru Usman defended his UFC welterweight title in devastating fashion when he knocked out Jorge Masvidal in a rematch at UFC 261. Usman is one of the 3 current UFC champions of African descent.
I've finished really my last 3 opponents. I finished them all. And so right now it's just, I just need to, take some time and continue to train and get better. But these guys got to show me something, because right now I'm the champion. I'm the most active guy in the division. These guys can't just wait around and wait for me to, call their number. They need to show me something. But I've asked Dana. I fought any and everyone they put in front of me. I never said no. These guys ducked me for years. But I got here and I haven't ducked anyone. And so, like I said, this is like a track meet. I'm so far ahead of these guys. I'm coming around the track, and I'm coming around with vengeance right now.
He also shared some words on moving up to 185 pounds, but not if it means competing with Nigerian champion Israel Adesanya.
Definitely, but not if Israel is at that weight. That's my brother, and like I said, I've said it before, I'd rather 2 Nigerians with belts than 1 with 2 belts.
Usman told the Associated Press what his win means for Africa.
And that's what I want to be. I want to be that role model to motivate everyone from Nigeria, from Morocco, from Cameroon, all the way down to South Africa. I want to motivate them and let them know that, hey, this can be done. So this one was extremely satisfying for me tonight.
A new Nigerian art gallery in Los Angeles reflects growing international interest in contemporary African art. VOA's Elizabeth Lee shows us more.
In a chic shopping district of Melrose Avenue in Los Angeles is a little piece of Lagos, Nigeria.
We love the audience here, how multicultural the institutions are here.
Themes such as suffering and hope, death and the afterlife are presented in this new contemporary African art gallery opened by Adenrele Shenario. In 2015, she founded the Raleigh Gallery in Lagos and now has this outpost in Los Angeles. The gallery features emerging young artists from Nigeria, including Tonya Neji, whose work gives voice to women's health through her personal experience with a health condition called polycystic ovary syndrome.
Not many Nigerian women or not many Nigerians knew about it. It was a subject that people thought was shameful.
Bringing another often taboo topic to light is young Nigerian artist Ame Egu, whose paintings explore death and the afterlife.
When you're leaving this place, this is not a final resting place. This is just a place you're going to exist, just like a journey.
Many museums have been showing contemporary African art since the 1990s, says Marla Burns of UCLA's Fowler Museum, but the focus is changing.
I think what's shifting and is reflected in the Raleigh Gallery's significance is looking at emerging artists from the continent here in the States in ways that perhaps we hadn't before.
On the international stage, there is also a trend, says Hannah O'Leary, who heads modern and contemporary African art at the auction house Sotheby's.
Only in the last 2 or 3 years that we've seen this market really taking off in a big way. Before that, I was really catering to an African audience, and I still consider them my first and foremost clients. But it's really been far more recent that we're seeing international attention.
The pandemic and reliance on the internet opened the door to the world for emerging African artists.
But a lot more international audience they were paying attention to the artists. So they were going online, they were asking questions, they were curious. And so we now have a broader, diverse collector base.
Sociopolitical events, including the Black Lives Matter movement in 2020, have also impacted the commercial and museum art space.
The Black Lives Matter movement has had a lot of institutions realize that they need to diversify the artists they feature in their galleries.
The demand for female artists and artists from ethnic minorities has grown considerably over the last 18 months.
More awareness plus increased economic stability on the African continent means more opportunities for emerging artists such as Neji and Egu to share their work with the world.
Now, Burkina Faso has a growing comedy scene that, despite the international popularity of comedians such as French Burkinabe comedian Rokiata Ouadriogo, it is still very much dominated locally by men. But a fresh initiative hopes to change all of that, as Claire McDougall reports from Ouagadougou.
Rokiata Ouadriogo helped bridge the gap between French and Burkinabe comedy, becoming known in France and famous in her home country. But Burkina Faso's comedy scene is dominated by men in a country where women are expected to be housewives. The organizer of Ouagadougou's annual Festival of Laughter and Comedy hopes to change that through training.
All day it is working in the house. For comedy, you need time for reflection, writing good sketches, a good amount of words to share things you can perform in public.
The country's male comedians train 10 women on scripting, improvisation and performance for the festival. They got support from the Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
There is also a cultural problem. In Burkina Faso, women are more reserved. They aren't so exposed. We want to take this warmth, this comedic oxygen, to say that women can make it.
The women comedians also hope they can help Burkina Faso, a country struggling with insecurity and displacement, to laugh again.
You are displaced without a home. You no longer have your village. You no longer have your parents. You are there, you are sad, almost wishing you were dead. For those who are like that, to offer one moment, a second of laughter, will offer hope.
With the stage set, the show can begin.
There are a lot of things for women to say, and they must become a voice for the voiceless. Women must be part of the comedy scene, because humor has a message.
The experience has brought the women confidence and the possibility of careers as the leading ladies of comedy in Burkina Faso.
In an effort to bring Broadway back in the spotlight, New York City has opened a new COVID-19 vaccination center for Broadway stage and screen workers at Times Square. Eugenie Maslov has the story, narrated by Anne Rice.
I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway.
Actors from the Jersey Boys musical performing in front of an audience on Times Square. Wearing face shields, the mini-show marks the start of the vaccination process for Broadway stage and screen workers. When Broadway theaters closed in March 2020, the city lost an estimated $14 billion in Broadway revenue, and it left over 100,000 people jobless.
To have to prepare with an unknowing end has been something that's been mentally challenging, physically and emotionally challenging.
This vaccination center in Times Square marks the beginning of Broadway coming back to life. Susan Simpliner is a seasoned Broadway producer, but for now, she chose to volunteer here.
There are stagehands, there are wardrobe, hair people, musicians, those are all backstage. And then front of house, you've got box office treasurers, you've got ushers, you've got porters and cleaners. So basically on a big musical, you could have as many as 200 people working on one show.
The center is equipped to vaccinate up to 1,500 people a day. The more performers and stagehands get vaccinated, the sooner Broadway will come back to life. And it's not just Broadway, it's the nearby hotels and restaurants and shops.
We want to gather again, and we want to tell stories in the dark. We cannot do that if we don't feel safe and if you don't feel safe. So the first step in that process is getting our vaccination shots, and the next steps will follow.
Theaters hope to reopen their doors by September and start the slow process of healing, accompanied, as everything here, by music and dancing.
And with that, we come to the end of our show today. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. My name is Jackson Bunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voanews.com. We are also on all social media platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube, where you can watch our videos. Remember to share and like and subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.